Good morning. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We want to say hello to meteorologist Scott Gagliardi for a check on that first alert forecast before we get to all that news about Helene. And you have it up here on the radar. I mean, do. What a storm.
So huge.
Insane. I mean, we were forecasting, National Hurricane Center was forecasting, what, 120-mile-per-hour winds?
Yeah.
It ended up being 140. And it really says a lot when, I mean, we're all the way up in Connecticut and we're leading our newscasts with this kind of hurricane all over the country.
Won't see something like this. I mean,
well,
it's
we have so many,
yeah.
people here have so many connections to Florida, too.
That's
a lot of family and friends down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're just getting all those, even the airlines.
Yeah.
We got to fly up almost every single airport in Florida.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, I'm not sure about the Tampa airport. Sure, Caitlin Francis will have an update on that, if that's been reopened and if any of our flights are heading down there. But as far as what it looks like right now, this is what's left of its now tropical storm Helene, but still causing many problems through Georgia and South Carolina, up through North Carolina as well, moving towards the north very quickly at 30 miles per hour. Wind speeds right now are sustained at 70, so still plenty of problems, but no issues here locally in terms of any impacts. If anything, we'll see some cloudiness maybe this weekend, but that is it. Right now, a live look outside. You notice the clouds through Hartford, some low-level clouds. Not seeing any rainfall. Temperatures in the mid-60s. Wind speeds are calm down through New Haven. There's actually a few showers down there where the temperatures are also quite mild, mid-60s. Here's a look at this strip of rainfall, basically right along and to the south of I-95. Notice if through Fairfield County, but even through West Haven, New Haven, Orange, Branford, East Haven, Madison, Clinton, Guilford. I noticed it on my drive-in this morning. Some of those showers will greet you on your way to work or school. So if you're in these areas, you might need the umbrella at least first thing this morning. Temperatures out there, they're on the mild side. We should be 50. Everybody well up into those 60s. The warmer spots up through Windsor Locks and New Haven, both right now coming in at 65 degrees. So if you're heading off to the bus stop, most of us are dry, but you just saw some of the spots could be dealing with a few showers. Temperatures climb through those 60s, 70s. For the ride home, it remains cloudy. There are some more chances of rainfall in our 7-day forecast. I'll let you know if we can expect them over the weekend and how warm the temperatures will get later on today. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Good morning, Kate.
Hey, good morning, Scott. So you just were asking about the Tampa International Airport, still closed to the public this morning, but they are anticipating that they should be able to get it back open sometime today. So you'll have to check if you are going to be flying towards that area this morning or at some point. There's a lot of flight changes still taking place. I'll have an update on that coming up in just about 15 minutes. But a live look here at your drive times. If you're heading out the door to head to work or bring the kids to school this morning, normal delays down through Fairfield County, just about an hour-and-a-half ride. So actually not even doing too bad. And then the rest of the state moving along very nicely out there. It's nice and quiet, crash and incident free. No construction set up at this time. Those roads could be a little damp left over from overnight. Maybe just a touch of fog depending on where you're traveling. But other than that, really pretty quiet. Live look here in Hartford, 91 north and southbound. Middletown along Route 9. Here's a live look in and out of the Mixmaster and Waterbury, 84 east and westbound. And in Meriden, 691 east and westbound. Again, traffic volume very light out there so far this morning for the majority of the state. It's a little humid though, so you might want to crank the AC as soon as you get in the car to kind of just cut the humidity out of the air for you as you are traveling. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, thanks, Kate. Roger, Susanna now jumping in from the First Alert Desk, where we are tracking the latest on Tropical Storm Helene. And we know certainly that this storm is impacting so many different people in so many different ways. Nearly 2.5 million folks right now are stuck without power this morning across 4 separate states. But the worst development, of course, is that Tropical Storm Helene has already killed 3 people. The storm has spanned hundreds of miles already. We know that 1 victim was killed in Tampa when a roadside toppled onto her car. 2 others were killed in Wheeler County, Georgia. And thousands have already evacuated their homes and also found relief at makeshift shelters that have been set up throughout the southeast. We also know that trees have toppled down onto power lines throughout the southeast, including in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Listen to what this man has to say.
It was scary. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially when I walked out and I seen that. And I seen the cables right over me. I was like, yeah, that's not good.
And right now we also know that 4,000 National Guardsmen are helping storm victims and evacuees across the southeast. Live at the First Alert Desk, I'm Roger, Suzanne, and I'll send it back to you, Kate.
Well, even though Helene made landfall about 1,200 miles away from us in Florida, help from right here in Connecticut is already on the way.
Yeah, Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones has more details about our state's part in this massive response effort, and they will need a lot of our help.
Absolutely. We like being the helpers, right? AmeriCares is pretty widely well known, a global nonprofit that's focused on medical help for individuals affected by poverty, disaster, or crisis. And although they travel the world to the hardest hit areas, its headquarters is right here in Connecticut. AmeriCare's team will head straight to pharmacies and clinics to provide assistance. Once their operations are stable, they help process critical medical assistance like prescription drugs that ship from Stanford to restock oftentimes empty shelves. According to the director of emergency response for AmeriCares, about 200 of their partners down south have already been contacted for assistance. Crews sent from Connecticut are expected to arrive tomorrow and will hit the ground running to help everyone they possibly can. Adding this specific type of assistance is designed to help fill in the gaps when people in crisis are focused on bigger issues. Now, there is no set return date for the AmeriCares members. They say they're happy to stay there as long as they're needed. If you'd like to donate to AmeriCares, please head to our website where there's a link to do so. In the studio, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, we're going to continue our coverage of Helene as the storm now churns in tracks inland. We'll keep you updated on air and on the WFSB News app.
Well, the man accused of domestic violence against his family is being held on bond this morning. We want to warn you that some of the details of this story are disturbing. 38-year-old Abdul Rahim Suleiman was arrested Wednesday after attacking his wife and two young stepsons with a baseball bat. Prosecutors now say the older son may not make it. Suleiman is a convicted felon. He's now been charged with 3 counts of attempted murder. Bond is set at $10 million. If he makes bond, he'll have to wear 2 ankle monitors. There also will be a protective order enacted.
Well, today the community is saying goodbye to a beloved chaplain, Pastor Paul Krampitz, after he tragically died in a motorcycle crash last week. The pastor served as chaplain for both the state police and the Cromwell Fire Department. His wake is today from 4 to 7 at Bethany Lutheran Church, and his funeral will be held there tomorrow, starting at 10 in the morning. Westbound traffic on Court Street will be blocked off from 9 until noon tomorrow as the procession makes its way through.
Police have arrested 3 people, seized multiple illegal THC products after an investigation into a Fairfield smoke shop. Investigators say they retrieved illegal vapes, edibles, pre-rolls, and marijuana from Esam Plus, the Mohegan Smoke Shop, and the World Smoke and Cigar Shop. The owner was arrested in addition to 1 employee and an employee from the World Smoke and Cigar Shop as well.
The first port strike in nearly 50 years may be right around the corner. The International Longshoremen's Association is asking for a 77% increase in pay and no automation. So far, negotiations between the ILA and the Maritime Alliance have not started. The strike would affect workers in the East and Gulf ports, and it could start as early as next week. Well, DEEP is reminding people to be safe, especially around wildlife. A woman was attacked on a hiking trail in Sutton recently, and she said she was bitten by what she thinks is a coyote. The animal ran off before officials could confirm that, but thankfully she is expected to recover. So reminders here, if you ever encounter a wild animal, make loud noises to scare them off. Stay away from animals acting strange as they might carry a disease, and make sure your pets are leashed and never feed wildlife. There are now 10 deaths linked to this summer's listeria outbreak at a Boar's Head plant in Virginia, and calls right here in Connecticut are mounting for the popular deli meat company to be held accountable.
Channel 3's Matt McFarland has the latest on why some think this is criminal.
Unfortunately, the number of deaths now up to 10, and it's why Senator Richard Blumenthal and Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro are urging the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Department of Justice to work together and try to figure out whether or not criminal charges are warranted. Back in July, Boar's Head recalled nearly 7 million pounds of deli products, causing deli counters across the U.S. to close temporarily in order to remove that lunch meat and clean up. The issue, a listeria outbreak at a Virginia plant where liverwurst was produced. Now, 10 deaths are connected to that outbreak, along with nearly 60 hospitalizations. Boar's Head eventually shut down that Virginia plant, but according to CBS News, in just the last 2 years, health inspectors have cited more safety concerns, major ones, at that facility, including moisture, condensation, and blood visible on the floors and walls. Now, the senator will be here later this morning, and he says in the past year, just since August of 2023, 84 violations of non-compliance at that now closed Virginia plant. Reporting at the state capitol, Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And the time right now, 7:11 on your Friday morning. Some areas dealing with a little bit of fog out there. Other spots seeing even a few showers. Everybody else is mostly cloudy and on the mild side. Temperatures well up into those 60s in some spots. Here's a live look in New Haven, though. Notice way off in the distance, you see some of those low clouds out there. Temperatures in the mid 60s. On our first alert live radar, though, some of those showers are making their way right into New Haven right now. Notice they're moving from west to east right along areas of I-95, even impacting parts of the valley there through Ansonia and Shelton, just to the south of Seymour. But New Haven certainly getting into it right now, right along I-95 and the I-91 interchange, even farther east along I-95 through Guilford and Clinton, Madison, seeing those showers out there at this hour. Temperatures, though, they're warm out there. And certainly on the mild side, a bit of mugginess, too, to the air, mid 60s. For most spots. If you're heading to the Durham Fair, though, looks dry, looks mostly cloudy, though. Temperatures climbing into those mid 70s. Can't rule out even near 80 for some inland spots. We're going to time out the what to expect for the rest of today and throughout the weekend. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.